Hello everyone, welcome to day 30 and day 31. Wiggy Poof is curious. Look, he looks so tiny. I got this green screen. Man Beast is cutting it open, letting it escape. My little boy. You okay? First glimpses of Her Majesty. And Man Beast put it up really quick. He's turned around his opinion on it.
Well, I was just like, why do you need another green screen? You already have one.
I have two. And then
but this is like really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the back. Yeah, the reason why I got this one was because I want something that's portable, easy. I do a lot of photography stuff, so I want to be able to grab this, put it up in like this space in the bedroom, take photos, and have some lights pre-set up over there so I can just do some photography really fast. And possibly I could use it for green screen stuff on the stream if I want, whenever I want to do that. But yeah, I'm gonna attempt to see maybe if I can use it for work stuff. I'm gonna see. I don't know. I think it's gonna be too small to fit two people into it, but it could definitely fit one person. But yeah, I was like, I've been debating getting this for like 2 months, and every time I look for it, it's always sold out. And right now it's sold out. So if you're trying to buy it on Amazon or something, they're sold out. Super easy to store.
Yeah, this is just dirt because I derped. You just put it any way you want. Look at this. Just pull it out from this. Like magic.
Like magic. Yep, it's really nice. One step closer to what I want in this room. There's still a lot of other organizational things I want, but I want this to be an option in the background that I can just pull up really fast and easy. Oh gosh, don't break it, Brian. For green screen options. And I think whenever my taxes come in, I want to get like a full monitor array thing and all kinds of goodies. So, things that I need to get to organize that room. But right now I'm prepping for Lost Initiative. We are gonna go live for that. So I'm gonna go be a robot. I finished recording everything. I had the green screen set up here and it turned out really good. As you can see, the lighting's pretty good. Obviously I'm casting shade because I have my hand up and stuff, but it was bueno. Hopefully I think the video will turn out really good. Totally digging it. And yeah, she's got kind of like a tracksuit thing going on, and she's supposed to be part of a swim team for the school, and our school colors are this maroon, red, and white, and gold. But gold is like, or yellow gold is gonna be like the trim, not the main thing. So just went through and grabbed all the photos, put those on a thing so I can grab them easily for social media throughout the whole season. And then I sent over some videos, so hopefully those work for EE, I don't know. I couldn't think of a good pose with the sword, and the sword's kind of actually pretty heavy, so I'm like shaking trying to hold on to it. I need to get more swole. I need to do arm day more. It's mostly because I was trying to do stuff with it like one-handed, and it was like not very easily holdable. And I have so much makeup on, I feel like it's like in my nose. That's a good thumbnail one. Yeah, so I had fun. I feel cool, and yeah. Tiny cat pod. Tiny cat pod. Aww, he's so cute. Cutie patootie. I finished work, and that was madness. We still couldn't stream. We're having issues on that end. It's more of an ISP issue, so they're trying to resolve that, which is really annoying when it's out of your control. But I'm home now. I took a nap. I feel refreshed. I took like a 2-hour nap. Those of you guys who know me, you know I live off of naps, and I basically work really weird schedules because I sleep for like, I nap for like 2 hours or an hour, and then I do stuff, and then I sleep for 4 hours. I don't know. I'm weird, okay? So that's kind of what I've been doing. And now I'm gonna stream. And then we're gonna do some more vlogging after I stream. So I'll see you guys after the stream. Just finished the stream, so now I just wanted to quickly go over planner stuff. Like I told you guys that I would. I'm being a little quiet because Mandy's sleeping, so I look like a mess. I need to go to bed. It's like way too late. Basically, I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about monthly goals, and so here I've been putting my goals for each month, and my first month was be consistent, and how I plan to do this was stick to a schedule, prepare in advance, and keep it simple. Now, I think I did a fairly good job at some of this stuff because obviously we've been uploading gameplay videos every day, we've been uploading vlogs every day other than yesterday, but I really needed sleep. Everything's starting to catch up with me. So I was like, you know what, health matters first, so I really focused on that. So at the end of the month, I have a thing like this, a page like that, and at the top, you know, I put personal monthly review, and then in the 4 bubbles I have the be consistent, stick to schedule, prepare in advance, keep it simple, and then in the columns I have what worked and what didn't work, and then at the bottom is moving forward, like what I would like to do. In some cases I think that it's good to like reiterate your goals or like move your goals to the next month. For instance, somebody who has like a major yearly goal and you start making that your first monthly goal, right? And you try to get there. In some cases, you'll have that same goal for the whole year. And I don't think that's a bad thing either. So I don't know what you guys put as your goal, but part of me kind of wants to keep this my goal. I think that has been this is my major thing for this year is consistency. And whenever I feel up to the point that I think it's manageable in the sense of it's happening on its own without me making like a conscious effort nonstop to make it happen, aka it becomes a routine, I think then I will feel solid. I don't think I'm at that point yet, and primarily a lot of that has to do probably with just my personal routine every day, and I think for a while I was doing really good with it. But the last couple weeks have been really rough for me because of the rig situation and stuff like that. So it's kind of taken a little bit of a fumble. And I'd like to get back to where I was earlier. So what worked, I think making a schedule and preparing in advance worked really well for me. I was able to, you know, like put things on my calendar. I can't show you guys my calendar because it has lots of like NDA stuff for work and things like that, but I basically fill out, I can show you a different week though. I think I'll start doing like my planner stuff every Sunday so you can kind of see. Yeah, so I'll show you the Valentine's Day week. I did kind of put some stickers in this already, but basically this is kind of how it looks, and you know, I put all my stuff in here and it looks all filled out once I have it all done. I put like my workout schedule here. I put my food, what I eat. I put, I'm just gonna go back to another one now that I've already done. I put my content schedule there for my stuff like that, and then every day I have my tasks. So I have my personal tasks that are color coded, and then each of the games that I work on I color code. So like Blade and Soul is a different color than all the other games and stuff like that. And then anything that's red is like overarching, like it's NCSoft as a whole. And then I have a personal color for my stuff, which is primarily vlogging, SVK stuff, Lost Initiative, and Roll For It. So those are all the things that I have on my personal. And then obviously any date night things, reminders for myself to do certain things, pay bills, stuff like that, is all on there for me. And then the monthly calendar has like monthly stuff that I have to do. So I found that scheduling things and doing all that stuff has worked for me. It's something that I've always been really good at. So I don't think that's my problem. I think where I have a problem is in my day-to-day routine. So I think for next year, or for next month, I'm going to change my thing to be, have something to do with routine. like figure out a daily routine. And that will also help me with like my sleep schedule and stuff. So I'm gonna put that down here in the moving forward part. Figure out better daily routine. So, and then the next thing that I think did work for me was I found alternative options when things came up. So for instance, when I did have a lot of stuff going on with my vlogs, I just went, not with my vlogs, but like with me personally, and I wasn't feeling like I wanted to stream. I was able to go back and record, like edit some of the footage that, you know, is old footage that I wanted to edit, and I kind of took that time to do that. And I think also that helped me feel happier because I got to look back at memories that were really happy when I was not feeling so good. So I think that that stuff worked for me very well. What didn't work for me was date changes. So when things changed in my schedule, it messed up everything because of the way that I was working on stuff. It just really affected like everything because then everything moved around and shifted, right? Or in some cases, in the case of a daily vlog or a daily gameplay video, those couldn't move, right? So even though all my work from the day before got pushed to the next day, I still had to do all that work on top of all the work for that day. So I think that those things affected me. And a lot of that was more my NCSoft work or my roll report work getting pushed on me on another day due to something else. For instance, I was supposed to do something tonight, like I told you guys, and that got canceled, and now they got pushed to Saturday, and now all my stuff that's on Saturday, I have to move to a different day. So it's like, it's one of those situations. Hard to keep it simple, I put as a list, because one of my four things, and it was my final fourth thing, was, or the overarching thing is be consistent, but the three things below it, the sub goals, were keep it simple. I found it hard to keep it simple because I think that I just have so much going on that it makes it really difficult for me to. And I think that's something that I still need to work on, is figuring out how to keep things simple. I think I've been doing a decent job of keeping my vlogs a little bit more simple, but I think I can simplify them even more to make it a little bit easier on me too, especially for days where like it is my routine, right? My daily routine is the same every day. Like you guys have kind of gotten to see a little bit of that, and I think it would get really repetitive if I showed you every day me feeding the cat, me getting coffee when I go to work. Like those are things that I do every single day, and it's my routine. So, you know, I get up, I get ready, I feed the cat, I go to work, I drive to work, I get coffee, I pour my coffee, I check my emails, I edit my planner. If I have any date changes or things like that, I check my schedule, we're good to go, I start doing my work. I tend to work through lunch a lot, but sometimes I'll take a little break, or if I don't take a lunch break, I'll do like a little walk break in the midday, like around 2 to 3 p.m., unless I have lots of meetings. Or sometimes I just take my planner out there or my notes and I do like brainstorming meetings or stuff like that on my own. Or if like I need to write a document, I'll go like outside and do it, just because for me, I like being in different spaces. I don't like sitting at a desk 24/7. It makes it hard for me to like get my creative mind flowing. So I think like I just have a little bit of a routine in that sense, but I think that and then I come home and I vlog, or I come home and I stream and I vlog, and then I go to bed, right? Or edit, and then I go to bed. But I think that it's been a little bit all over the place for me, and I haven't been keeping to my routine because of all the things that are getting toppled up on top of each other. So that's one of the things. And then the next thing was when things come up, I found it hard, which I think kind of those things go together. Like there were, for instance, like the situation that I was in that affected me more mentally, it was really hard for me to like focus on the things that I needed to do, right? And I think that the last 2 weeks I've been kind of like, I'm here physically, but I don't feel like I'm all here mentally. And it's like, I don't know if anyone else has had this feeling before, but it's the feeling of I'm walking around, but I'm like a ghost watching myself. Like that's what I've felt like the last few weeks. or last 2 weeks, and I don't really know how to solve that other than just continuing to move forward and, you know, doing that. So that's what, you know, the thing for me. So when things come up, I found it hard. Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna solve that problem yet, but I don't think you can. I think the thing is, I have to be okay with moving stuff, right? The next thing is daily vlogging feels boring for viewers. This is my personal thing. I don't know if it's boring for you guys, because actually a lot of you have said you really love the talks, and maybe I need to focus more on those things, which is something that I was thinking about. I was thinking about, like, next month, maybe not always doing like the moment-to-moment vlogging unless it's interesting. Like if I have a day where the moment-to-moment vlogging is really fun, like let's say me and Mabby's go out and fly the drone, or we go adventure somewhere, like that I think would be really cool to like get that kind of experience. But the day-to-day where I'm just like getting up and going to work and nothing crazy happens, I'm thinking that I might do some stuff a little bit differently. Maybe go in different places in my house, set up the camera, I put some lighting up, and then just really talk to you guys about a topic, and get a little bit more nitty and gritty with it. I think you guys seem to really like those things, and I really like them as well. It's having like a topic to talk about and then like really going in depth with the topic. Maybe not too much, but like, you know, 10-minute conversation or more about a topic, and then maybe like putting some visuals up on the screen for you guys, or whatever it might be, if it fits. So tell me what you think about that down below. I'm curious if you think that would work. I think that might be easier for me because I can make it part of my routine, right? So next month, I think routine is going to be one of my goals, or my sub goals, to being consistent. Because I feel like that's where I have the hardest trouble is keeping a routine. I have a schedule, but I don't keep to a routine. And I think that is just going to make me having a schedule, or make the schedule feel easier. So I think that those were the main things that I came back with. And then moving forward, this is a note to myself, is make things interesting. And I think that I sometimes just don't, like, I'm not very spontaneous, and I think that's something that I need to be better about. I mean, I can be, but I think generally I'm like, oh, I have a thing, this is the thing that I need to do, this is the schedule I need to follow. And sometimes, like, you know, if Maddie comes up with something, like, I'll just be like, I'm busy, you know? And unfortunately, that's something that I think I need to just be cool with doing interesting things, and trying new things and stuff like that. And what we talked about before was figuring out better daily routine. So I think that next month, which is gonna be February, which is technically today, technically this is the second day for you guys, is going to be, well, when you're watching this, I'm gonna be consistent as my goal. I think that that's something that I still need to do. Obviously it fell off this last day, and even though it was only the last day of February, or March, or, wow, I'm losing it. Even though it was only the last day of January, I still feel like that sucks that I got myself into the state where I was so tired that I was like, I need to sleep. So I'm gonna be consistent on there. I think I'm gonna stick to a schedule, and change it to find your routine. And I think this might take me like the full month to figure out what is my routine, and kind of writing it down and going through it, and maybe even I'll talk with you guys about it throughout the month, like what I've figured out. And maybe I'll make at the end of the month my daily routine, like my morning routine, my evening routine, or something. I don't know. I think that those things could be interesting. I think that prepare in advance is pretty good. I don't think I need to worry too much about that. I think I've been doing a pretty good job about it. So I'm going to change that one to I want to have something that's more along the lines of like make things interesting, but I also want to keep things simple. And I don't know, because I feel like keep it simple should still be on my list. Because I tend to make things way more complicated than they really need to be, or get really into something. Like, for instance, one of my coworkers made a video that I was like, oh man, you know, I wish we could have changed like 12 things in it, right? Whereas keeping it simple would have been like, it's cool, let's just go. You know, people don't have time for this. And I think like, I did make that decision, but part of me was like unhappy with that decision. I have to be happy with it. So I think keeping it simple is gonna continue being on my list. So I just have a third sub goal to be able to be consistent and what fits in that. And I wanted it to be something more like make things interesting, but it doesn't really fit under be consistent per se. So I think maybe we'll go with So we have be consistent, find your routine, keep it simple, and what else did I have problems with? Date changes, hard to keep it simple. When things come up, I found it hard. I want to put in there like worry less, but I feel like I feel like that's just a very general thing to put in there. But maybe it is the thing that I need to do, because I stress out about stuff a little too much. And I don't know if that'll help me be consistent though. I'll think on the last one. And I'll let you guys know what I end up putting on here, but I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna write those in the February section and we're gonna wrap things up. So I would love to know what your guys' goals are gonna be for February. Obviously, if you don't wanna share those things, you don't have to, but I think it's kind of a cool system of being like, here's my overarching goal, here's the 3 steps to get to that goal. I think that will help everybody. I think that the third thing in my list I still need to figure out, because everything has to fit under the keep it like be consistent. So like, what steps can I make to be consistent? And I think finding my routine and keeping it simple are 2 great things to being consistent. But that third thing, part of me is like, get more sleep. I don't know. I don't think worrying less is gonna help as much, but maybe. I'll think about it. But I think the sleep thing falls under routine. So those are the thoughts that are going through my head right now. So yeah, I'm curious to hear what your guys' goals were last month, what your steps were to getting there, how you feel about your steps, what worked, what didn't work, and then moving forward, what you're gonna be choosing as your new goal and what sub steps you think are gonna help you achieve that. And we will move forward into a new month. So I think that that's gonna wrap this vlog up for me today. I hope you guys have a wonderful morning, evening, night, day, whatever it may be, wherever you are, my lovelies. And I will see you guys tomorrow for another vlog.